My dear brothers and sisters, inflation is roaring. We've been saying it all along. It's coming true. The prices of raw materials have nowhere to go but up. Copper is rising rapidly. Lumber rising rapidly. And with this, in the second stage, the price of manufactured goods are rising. And finally, after that, in the third stage, retail prices. Never before, since they've started keeping statistics, have prices exploded like this. It is especially sad and tragic when food goes up. This is particularly burdensome upon people in modest circumstances. So much of their budget goes to feed themselves and their families. It had to happen. With the Fed printing massive amounts of money, it had to happen. Imagine a 75% increase in money creation year over year. Normally, it's 1 to 2%. So this inflation we're experiencing is different. In normal circumstances, there's a different sort of inflation which has a homeostatic effect that keeps things together and in balance. As we've mentioned, the economy is a living thing. 160 million working Americans imbue it with energy and intentionality. It pulsates with aliveness. And of course, it has rhythms and it has cycles. And here is what the business cycle looks like, going from boom to peak to recession to depression, and then once again it goes up to recovery, boom and peak, and so forth. So you have the classical business cycle. Now, in such circumstances, as the economy heats up, demand grows for consumer goods. Demand grows for raw materials. Businesses need financing to boost output. Consumers need financing. Governments do not hesitate to increase their borrowing. Naturally enough, interest rates rise, and with this, borrowing falls, spending falls, growth falls, and inflation cools off. So towards the peak of a business cycle, you have a normal, usual sort of inflation that keeps things together. But this is different. Prices are rising. Not because a real boom is increasing demand for goods and services. Fake money is causing prices to rise without an increase in production. Debt levels and the need for more cheap credit are increasing. The Federal Reserve is locked in a situation in which they either print more and more money or risk economic collapse. Hyperinflation is just around the corner. After that, there's going to be a crash followed by an implosion. Zimbabwe. Here we come. And in these circumstances, brothers and sisters, we urge you to plant a victory garden. To plant a victory garden. Featuring, of course, lettuce, parsley, celery, chard, spinach, kale, but of course. So let's begin. Let's begin with some red deer tongue lettuce. Have you ever seen a more beautiful packet? It's just glowing, and this is from Everwild Farms in the Midwest. Wonderful people. So I'm going to be planting some red deer tongue lettuce. And then we're going to plant another lettuce, also a beautiful seed pack. This is from the Seed Savers Exchange. Brothers and sisters, they deserve your patronage. They're doing magnificent work in the Midwest, preserving rare and old-time varieties of seeds. So we're going to be planting wonderful old French variety called Marvel of Four Seasons. We've done that. And then another lettuce. This is an English lettuce, winter density. It's adoptable to anywhere in the lower 48 states. It's a magnificent romaine lettuce. You just can't go wrong with winter density. Almost every seed company features it, and we're going to be planting winter density. And then of course, you've guessed it, we've got to have tomatoes. Every garden deserves tomatoes, the pride of every, and let's agree, that no tomato tastes as good as the one you've grown yourself. So here is an old-time variety called Amish paste tomato. And once again, I've got this from the Seed Savers Exchange. And here we go, Amish paste tomato. And let's plant a little bit of that Amish paste tomato. Good. Okay. And then after tomatoes, what are we going to do but kale, of course. And here's a wonderful variety of kale, also from Seed Savers Exchange. It's called green peas. Green peas, marvelous name. It looks gorgeous. So let's plant some green peas kale, if you will. Kale germinates right away, just like lettuce. No problem with that at all, especially in warm weather. So, good. We've planted some green peas kale. Okay. And now, let's say, what about some spinach? Okay, here's a spinach called America. We're going to be, we'll plant this. Okay. America. What about some leeks? This is a King Richard leek from Johnny Selected Seeds, a marvelous company in Maine. Wonderful people. It's a worker-owned collective, by the way. Very professional. Good. So we planted some leeks. And now What about some cilantro? All of us love cilantro very, very much in our salads. So we're going to be planting, and since this warm weather is coming and cilantro has a tendency to bolt, we're going to be planting a bolt-resistant cilantro that will get us through the warm weather. And this is from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, another utterly marvelous company. They've been around for decades. They're in the Midwest. They deserve your patronage. Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. What about some red dandelions? How about dandelions with red stems? This is an Italian vegetable, and we'll give this a go. Here we go. Red dandelions. Okay. And how about, but of course, basil. This is a dark purple basil, also from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. And then how about a carrot? A carrot from Central Asia. It's called an Uzbek golden carrot. So I'll golden carrot. And finally, but by no means the least, parsley. It takes 3 weeks for parsley to germinate. Most of these seeds are going to be germinating within a week or so, especially in this warm weather. But parsley takes its time, and you have to give it a full 3 weeks, but it will get there. It will do. It will germinate for you. So here is a wonderful Italian parsley. And we'll go right over here. Italian parsley. Yeah. Okay. And I'm aware that many of us live in apartment houses. We don't have the luxury of a front yard or a backyard. I understand that full well. Your community garden will welcome you with open arms. Start today with that 5-gallon bucket in the kitchen. Every watermelon rind, every banana peel, every orange peel, every apple core, all goes in that bucket. It's gold. And when you fill it up, take it over to the compost pile, either in your backyard or in your community garden, where it will turn into rich, vibrant humus that gives life to all, beginning with ourselves. So, and I would like to say, brothers and sisters, there is so much help out there for you. YouTube is filled with gardening videos at all levels, from rudimentary, from just getting started, to people who are planting forest farms, who are planting edible landscapes on every level. So many tips on growing zucchinis, so many tips on growing abundant tomato or potato crops. It's all there online. And of course, there are marvelous seed companies. Many states have agricultural extension services who would be delighted to help you, to guide you, and to give you advice. And usually, in most states, in most everywhere, there are community gardens. So, brothers and sisters, take at least a part of your future into your hands. Get control. Get control of at least of the food that you eat. If you're concerned about the food, if you're concerned about its aliveness and vitality, grow at least a part of the food you eat yourself. So it's that time of year. Let's get growing and let us go forward. It is my privilege to share with you. Comments and suggestions are always most welcome. Let's go forward. Let's get planting, hands in earth, hands and feet on this living American earth. Thank you, and bye for now.